Grand Rising, Mama Bees, how are you? My moderator, Mama Bees, is in the building. Grand Rising, let me place that comment up. Welcome to Sandra P's Gen Extra, everyone. Welcome, everyone, to Sandra P's Gen Extra. This is the King's Court Review. This is episode 3. This is their first season. This is the King's Court Review. As you see behind me, those are the beautiful kings. I apologize. I can't figure out why Rodney Peete's head is cut off. I'm going to have to put the picture on again, maybe try to move it down lower. But that couple at the top, they are the hosts. That's Holly Robinson Peete and her husband, Rodney Peete. That is Carlos Boozer in the full beard. Is the king to my left behind me. That is Tyson Beckford in the middle, supermodel, and that is, his name is Thaddeus, but Titus was his WWE name, and we get to meet the Titus character during this episode. So Titus is right above me. I was able to change my screen a little bit so I wasn't covering anyone's face, but now we have the issue with Rodney Peete. So I do apologize for that, but that is what it is. That's who is behind us. Thank you, Mama Bees. I appreciate it. I can be heard. Everyone, welcome in. Please click the like button as you come in. If you are not already subscribed, please subscribe. And I appreciate you. And I thank every subscriber, every visitor, everyone that comes in, Team Replay, particularly. Thank you so much. So this is King's Court. And I'm going to do a different review this week. I won't go scene by scene, but there are some scenes that stand out more than others. So I will do that. Okay, I thought they were going to end up with 21 women. I feel like they said that during the show. I didn't just pull that out of the air. But we end up with 4 new women. So we don't have 21 women. You know, last week at the end, Lexi and Brukel exercised their right to leave the house, and they did that. They did not go through the "You Are Not My Queen" ceremony. They removed themselves from the game. I could see both ways. They left kind of like sore losers, but they weren't really losing. They chose what they wanted to do. They're gone. 4 new ladies are coming in. The men are in I'll say a WWE type setting or boxing type ring where Titus actually comes in. We get to meet the Titus character. So Thaddeus, he said, you met Thaddeus. That is the person who is there to date. And he brings in the Titus WWE character, who is his alter ego of Thaddeus. Thaddeus is, he is my favorite king on the show. He is the most emotionally mature. He takes time to talk to the women. I showed a scene last week where he and Dr. Shawana had a close moment over him calling her aggressive. We meet the alter ego. Titus is in that ring. He doesn't play. Two men came in, one dressed like Thor. Titus is body slamming both of them all over the ring. The men are really excited. They're cheering. The ladies are excited. They're cheering. So that was really interesting. Next, we have the women come in as their alter ego. And let me see. The new women are Denitra, Catherine. There is a bald model named, I think her name is Tari. If it comes to me, Tari. And they are dressed. Now, last week when we saw the preview, I couldn't make heads or tails of what they were doing, but they were doing alter egos. And I thought they were doing some type of stripper type thing. It wasn't stripper type thing. One of them was dressed kind of as a dominatrix. That was Tari. And that was really funny, y'all, because she had on this all black leather suit with the hood. That makes me really uncomfortable because when I used to watch Law and Order, anytime something freaky or crazy happened, the people were dressed like that, and it was just crazy. So she was in this dominatrix type hood and these tall rubber boots, and she started stumbling. Now, she said she billed herself as a model. That's what she said. And the heels, I've seen heels like that on the Real Housewives. She was like a baby deer. She was just, it was funny. And Carlos got his best life. He was just laughing. He said, good save, good save. Because she didn't actually fall, but that hobble was worse. I think I would have just fell on that. I don't know. But the whole thing was funny. We had Catherine. It's 50 years old, y'all. She's the one that is closest in age to Tyson. I think Titus or Thaddeus are in their 40s. Same thing with Carlos. Tyson is the oldest. He's the least mature. We're going to see more of that from him during the course of this episode. Some of us have called out Tyson for playing. We're going to get to see Tyson is playing. He's having fun with these ladies, and the ones that don't know it, I feel sorry for them. I think that's why Bruquel left. She know Tyson liked to play, and if you're not for that, then just go ahead and get out of there. Also, it's a competition show. If you're not for that, I don't know why some of them are there, because we see a lot more of the jealousy that comes in. So Felicia is a gorgeous lady. She's wearing a white dress, really pretty. The men, the same premise as last week, they get to ask people out. Felicia is in a white bodycon dress. Tyson and her are kind of leaned up against the ring, and he is hugging her, asking her out. And he's asking her, can I watch you walk away in this dress? And she said, yeah, you can follow me. And he said, I will, but it might be trouble. Just over the top flirting. And I say over the top because Tyson is very handsy. The women don't mind. They got their hands on him too. And we're going to see a whole episode of this from Tyson. Liliana, one of the original crew that was part of the, not throuple, but kind of the three, he, Bruquel, and Liliana. Liliana tells the camera that she doesn't want to end up like Bruquel, and so she's going to have to shoot her shot again with Tyson. So she goes over there. They start talking again, and then he's trying to reestablish this bond that they had from jumping out of a plane. He asked her on a date. All the men end up choosing 3 women for the date, and then we see Titus say that Dr. Shawana, who was his number one, and Ariel. Ariel gets another date. Dr. Shawana's standing back, kind of looking. She's mingling, but she's talking to Carlos about her and Titus. She's pulled back a little bit, and I understand it, because then we see when that is Titus puts this purple hat on, this purple Stetson, he kind of had a different persona. The women are feeling him. He's getting a little bit more Playboy type vibes. So he's asking out different women. This is the first week where he doesn't ask Dr. Shawana on a date, which she's fine with it. She's sitting back talking to Carlos, and Carlos does not ask Janae. Janae has been his number one. He doesn't ask her on a date. He ends up asking Dr. Shawana, do you want to go on a date? He ends up taking her. Brielle was a really tall lady with beautiful red natural hair. She and Titus have a moment, and we find out that Carlos actually, we see a flashback of the Peetes talking to the Kings, as they do at the end, give a little bit of coaching, they talk. We find out that Carlos pointed, did I say Brielle? Pointed the tall red-haired lady toward Titus, and now he's interested. He asked her on a date. So, excuse me. They'd already had the alter ego show. The men bring the women back to the house. Some of the women, now I'll say Kat in particular. Kat is really friendly. She's 44 years old. She's the blonde that replaced the other blonde, Miss Jenny from Tennessee, that lied about dating a black man. So she comes right up. I'm Kat. I'm happy to meet you. And then Titus actually had to call the other women over. Y'all could be a little more hospitable. Then they kind of start circulating. But now the women are a lot more. So the more women they got, I noticed, the more jealousy we saw and the more competitiveness we're seeing being exhibited. So Tyson is hugging all the ladies. Titus is calling Tyson the Black Hugh Hefner. But Titus does make an important point to the camera. He says if Tyson doesn't start being more serious with the ladies, none of them are going to take him seriously, which is correct. Now, what I like about the 3 Kings, they're all so different. We have Tyson, who is just playing completely on a playground. We see that, the Playboy type thing. We have Titus or Thaddeus, who is more serious, more emotionally mature, more secure as to how he's going to approach the women and date. And then we have Carlos, who is locked right in. I mean, eye contact from the first day with Janae. He acting like this is his wife. Carlos, to me, is disturbing. I don't like people that are that locked in that quickly. What is it about Janae, Carlos, that has fixated you on her like this? And I don't like this for Janae, y'all. Janae's only 32 years old. She told us that she doesn't have children. She may want one more. Carlos is in his 40s. He has been married twice, as Lexi told us before she went out the door. And after he was outed, he exposed to Janae that he was married very young during one of the marriages, but he cheated during both. He did tell her that a different man sits before you, but I don't know. And he has 4 children in his 40s, 4 children, 2 marriages in his past. Janae, 32 years old, out of a long-term relationship, a 5-year relationship, no children. They're at different stages in their life. So I don't know if I love this for Janae. She's more comfortable with Carlos, though. And they do always, for instance, when they came back, he was like, oh, let's go over here to the couch. They were in their old like date spot, just kind of Netflix and chilling. So Carlos is mingling a lot more. He tells the camera, I want to mingle a lot more. I noticed that Tyson and Titus don't have a problem doing that. I'm taking a page out of their book. So I do understand him wanting to mingle more and not settle down with one. But I wanted Janae to mingle more too. I feel like all of the women should be there to meet the 3 kings. There's so many more of the women than there are the men. And this is for them too. Of course, it's King's Court, so we're focused on kings. But the women, they get a chance to date too. Tyson's having a b-boy class. We know that he's Gen X. He's from the 90s. So he tells us he used to be a b-boy, this, that, and the other. He could break dance, all of that. So he and his dates are out there at this b-boy class. And it's so funny because he brings Catherine with him. Catherine is a 50-year-old. He's supposed to be choosing the winner of the contest. None of those ladies could dance. The instructor was cute. He had kind of like a Pharrell vibe. He's wearing a little Kango and all that. But none of the ladies really danced. Tyson calls himself doing, that thing they do. I don't know if I believe him or not. Some of the stuff Tyson says, if you watch his Breakfast Club interview, he is a very different type personality. So, and it's worth watching. It's only about an hour, but he did say he used to dance. He brought up that he had a lot of friends, that they would be in the street, that sort of thing. That part I did believe as far as from the Breakfast Club interview. But this b-boy dance class, he's supposed to choose a winner. As I said, none of the ladies could dance. So he sits down separately with Catherine. She's a 50-year-old, beautiful lady. She lets us know, y'all, she is an empty nester. She has a daughter in medical school. She said that she is excited to be an empty nester. He says he would like to have more children. Now, this shows you he's older than her. Tyson's 54. He's older than her, but he's at a different place in his life. He's been playing a long time. He's out of, I think he said his last relationship 9 years ago. So they're at 2 different places. He said he'd actually like to add a child to the family. Good morning, TNTG Mom. Welcome in. He's excited about being able to have a child in the family. Catherine does not want anymore. And she told him. She wants to know, is that a deal breaker? I don't think he told her that was a deal breaker, but if he wants one more and you don't, that's not a deal breaker. I mean, that is a deal breaker. So bringing in toddlers, little children at this stage of the game, they're at different stages in their life. Another young lady that was on the date got on my nerve. This lady talking about, I don't know how old she is, but she might be too old for Tyson. She's not too old for Tyson. Tyson's older than her, Miss Lady. Tyson is older than her. But Catherine is in a different stage in her life than Tyson. I don't really get too annoyed about much because I know that people will throw out little digs if they really don't have anything else. Catherine's beautiful. She's 50 years old, but she's younger than Tyson. She's older than a lot of these ladies because a lot of the men, the kings, they like to date younger. And I think what they dangle over the younger women's head is that they may want more children. I don't even know how true that is. I think they just do that to eliminate the women that are going to see through their bull, which would be some of the older women. Now, there's some old fools too, but some of the women that are in their own age group, they're going to see through the bull. That's why these men try to create this age gap, and they prefer that. It's not just aesthetics. It's not just the looks. I never thought that. So congrats to Catherine, daughter in medical school, empty nester. So Sarah, she says Sarah's back at the house. Excuse me. She's back at the house. She says that she had dated a singer and that a man having a bunch of other women trigger her. Again, I don't know why some of them are even on this show. Terry was the boyhead model that hobbled to the point where she weeble wobble, but she didn't fall down. She's kind of poking at Sarah. I think because they're both in competition for Tyson. So Terry's using mind games, trying to eliminate the other women. That was the other funny thing. They flash back and show us the women talking that next morning about what happened with Briquel and Lexi. And the people that were at the elimination dinner, which was Kat and Liliana, were filling the other ladies in. And Kat was so funny. She was just gossiping because remember, she was right there between Briquel and Tyson when they were going back and forth. And then Liliana was having her conversation with Lexi, who was a whirlwind. She went around the whole room. Y'all ball, y'all get out. She let them know. She let the Kings know before she left. So they're disclosing all this to the ladies. And the ladies had an interesting response. They thought it was funny. They said, oh, 2 left. How many more can we get out of here like that? So I thought that was funny. Some of these ladies are a trip, y'all. But then they're not taking it too seriously, which is, I find to be smart. Because I don't know if any of these women are, any of these kings are ready for love, particularly Tyson. Carlos seems to be locked into Janae. I don't know if that's the best for her. And Titus, he's willing to date. He's doing it the correct way. But the way he kind of backed Dr. Shawana up, I'm not sure if I like that too much because I do like them together. So we'll see what happened with that. Tyson, I'm seeing a pattern. Tyson likes to test women, test their loyalty, test their bond, test what he can get them to do for him and with him. Tyson is something else, y'all. He's a player who's been playing a long time. So these women need to be really careful with him. As long as their heart's not in it, as long as you want the eye candy, that chest, that body, all of this, then you'll be okay. But you get out here trying to fall in love, Tyson's going to break some hearts. He crying over his heart being broken. He's a heartbreaker too. I see it. So the dates are, Carlos takes his 3 ladies on a golf date. We see the B-boy date was Tyson. And I'm sorry, my notes, since I just wanted to do the scenes, I apologize. Now I'm all over the place. But Titus has his 3 on a date. Their date will come up. I'm not sure what they did. But he does say they like competitive women, so I'm sure it has something to do with that. And the women, I'm noticing more caddy type stuff between them. I think it's just because they added more women. We find out that Catherine was the president of a chess club. She's making a chess analogy. Tyson, during their conversation where she said she's an empty nester, remember she has a daughter in medical school, Tyson tells us he has a 25-year-old son who plays chess. So Tyson, you're an empty nester too. I don't know what you're talking about, trying to add 2 little ones or at least one little one. He's a trip. So when they get back to the house, Tyson wants to jump in an ice bath. He puts all this ice in a tub, y'all, near the hot tub, and he gets in. Again, he's testing these women. Kat jumps right in there with him, the white woman. She jumps right in this ice water. Tari, the bald model, she's trying to do something different. She gets in, and she's doing all these moans and these sensual, loud noises. So we get confessional Tyson saying, oh, yeah, this one's got some vocals. The other ladies are kind of disgusted. They're like, she's doing a lot. It doesn't take all that. Liliana is particularly annoyed. Sharon sees what I see in Tyson. Tyson is an old school player. Yeah, what they call him, the player from the Himalayas. He's not in it. I'm not going to say he's not in it for love. He wants someone to fall head over heels in love with him so he can do whatever he want to do. You see the way he wrote Liliana back in. And there was one point where he had already invited Liliana on her date. She's sitting back in the cut watching him. When he's inviting the other women, like I said, he had his hands full. He's just hugging all over all of them. And he's telling her, come over here. You know, he's playing with her. You can't be mad at me. Come over here. She's acting mad, but she's still doing what he wants her to do. So as long as they know that, like we said, Tyson is a player, they shouldn't be too upset. There is a scene Tyson has with the producer. He is dressed all in white. Y'all know Tyson is fine. But the producer is asking him, how do you get, if you don't have difficult conversations, how do you get out of these situations? He was like, I don't know. I do shy away from the difficult conversations. They said, well, how do you extract? Do you ghost women? I'm all in white. I'm Casper. So now he's giving that smile and the eyes and all this. If y'all trust Tyson, I don't know what to say. These ladies, Liliana knows better, but there's something drawing her to him. And she tells us, I can read into Tyson and that makes him uncomfortable. And I do believe that she sees that he's playing, but she thinks she can change him, kind of like Raquel did before she got mad and stormed up out of there. So Tyson is the type you cannot play. Liliana is beautiful. She's 37, y'all. She's 37 years old. She's young enough to still have children if she wants to, all things being equal and everything going okay. She's young enough to still have children if she wants to. So she is a travel nurse. Tyson is Tyson. Of course, some people see him as a prize, but to settle down with, I don't know. Would he be the one? I don't know. So let's see. I'm going to go through all the notes again. Denitra was the other lady that went on the date. That was introduced. So we have Denitra. All the new ladies they're different. They come in, they're more competitive. Sarah actually has to tell Tyree, why you keep coming for me? Tyree says, well, that's why you ain't got no man. Tyree, none of y'all have a man. These 3 kings are for everybody right now, except Carlos. Like I said, he's fixated on Janae, but I don't know that that's the best thing for her. Y'all, I don't know if the first 2 ladies did Brukel and Lexi, did they throw off the whole vibe? Because they have an elimination dinner, but we don't see anyone go home. So I don't know what's going on with that. Liliana is at that elimination dinner again. Dr. Shawana, I forgot who the other 2 were, but they don't end up sending anyone home. And Tyson, he has been especially like humpy on all the women and all this kind of stuff. I don't even know what to say about him this episode. I did see a different part of Titus when he put that purple hat on. He was trying to do a lot of things, Oh, so Sharon said Tyson's there for a good time. Yeah, the good time, not a long time. I see it. Mama B says, I don't think any of the kings are the types to settle down with one woman. Yeah, I hate to say it, but you might be right about that, Mama Bees, because I had Titus on the pedestal. He's so emotionally mature. He's this, he's that. He probably is. But as far as settling down with one woman, I don't know that they are. If they haven't had to, and they haven't had to, I don't know that they are ready for that. And this show certainly is not the place where they're going to do that. Yeah, exactly, Sandra. None of them have a man. Yeah, when she told her that made me laugh. So that's why you don't have a man. I'm saying, Tyree, you don't have a man either. She's having a conversation with Tyson, and he's so silly. You know what they were bonding over? She's the one with the very short haircut, right? It's like a Caesar or to a Baldy. He said, your barber got you lined up. I don't know what kind of compliment that was, but she's like, thank you. And she do got a pretty head, a little round head. He said, your barber got you lined up. And she was all over him. So not too much happened during this episode other than us being able to see more who and what these men are doing, what they're bringing. I'm going to try to find a scene because we're not even at a half hour yet, y'all. And I wanted to bring in a scene so see if I can show some of the new ladies and what they're looking like. Because like I said, these new group of ladies they're spicy. They seem kind of young, even though they're in their 30s, except for Catherine, who is 50. We got Kat, came in last week. She's 44. I like Kat, but they're not giving her a lot of play. So maybe, I don't know that they think Kat fits, but she's no Jenny. I don't mind Kat. Jenny, I didn't want there. I didn't feel like she belonged, and I didn't like her. So next week, they're going to get a dating coach. In week 4, you get a dating coach. The lady has an 87% success rate. So I wonder why she didn't come in first and still have the Pete's host. You still don't like Carlos? Yeah, I'm getting more of what Carlos is doing. Like I said, he's fixated on Janae. Like they're in like a marriage. When he came home and they went over there and sat on the couch, it was like, honey, bring my slippers. I'm like, Janae, you're too young. You're 32 years old. This man is in his 40s. 2 marriages behind him. 4 children. And then he has like an 18-year-old or something. I don't know the ages of all his children. He got a baby girl he's sending to kindergarten. Janae, come on now. And he says, if somebody really wants to have a baby, I might give her one more. Janae, you don't have to sit up and beg no man for a bit. None of these ladies. Honestly, I say just have fun with the kings and throw the whole bunch away, what I'm looking at, especially Tyson. Because I'm not going to lie that I wouldn't want to be in the presence of a Tyson. Him looking at me with them eyes talking crazy. But I know Tyson is playing. And if you play, I'll play. So that's crazy to me. It's too much. Okay, everyone, what I'm going to do, let me turn the camera off so I can find, there was a scene. Hopefully I can quickly find it. Now, I'm not going to take away my endorsement of the show. This is still a pretty good show. It's still funny. I like what they got going on here. I honestly think that the kings are getting better end of the deal. I don't think the ladies are. This is not great for them. I don't know what the end premise is. Are they going to leave there in a so-called committed relationship? That would be, let's say, Carlos and Janae. But I don't know what's in it for her if they get that. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. But I guess that's the end goal of the show. And then with the new group of ladies, I see that they are looking for more kind of jealousy, confrontation between the ladies, some different stuff as far as that goes. So hopefully it doesn't get too bad with that. I think Holly Robinson Peete and Rodney Peete are not there for that. So that's good. Okay, let me see. I see one of these. I'll show these ladies at a mixer. I'm going to go to their page and see what we can. I should have had this queued up. I apologize. Oh, no, this is just someone. She actually. I'll show you Felicia, because Felicia is the one that went on a date with Tyson. Okay, we're going to present. Thank you for your patience while I'm doing this. It's just a scene. It's her Instagram. Okay, there we go. You'll be able to see it in a second. So that's Felicia on the left. You see the young lady with the long straight hair in that gold dress. She's beautiful. All of the queens that they're adding are gorgeous. So she is one of the ones that went on a date with Tyson. Okay, the other lady, I don't know. I don't think she's on the show. I don't recognize her. All right, let me go back and see. Hopefully we can get a scene from that. If not, we're just going to go ahead and end. Y'all, one thing I'm noticing about Bravo, they don't really showcase the shows, our shows. Okay, this is one of the scenes, Tyson cutting up. The way that they do these other shows. Here he is and they're doing a lot of stills. Generally, I can find a scene, but I'll just share this. So we had Tyson. You see Tati in the white shades, the one that he was complimenting her line. And he said, yeah, your barber got you right. This is Catherine, y'all. The one that the other lady trying to shade is old. This lady 50 years old. Tyson's 54. So what are they talking about? You see how silly people are? And she's an empty nester with a daughter in medical school. Honey, I'll take that any day. I will take that any day. Tyson with his cowboy hat on. And this was Titus teasing, calling him the Black Hugh Hefner, which was true because he was really playing around. He got the nerve to like the post, y'all. This man is hilarious. That was Felicia. Okay, I told y'all, she said her breakdancing has not improved. I told y'all that lady could not dance. None of them could. So he ended up choosing Catherine as the winner because he did want to spend more time with her. And I liked Catherine myself. Okay, that was it. You know what I need? And I'm not sure. I'm going to look. Oh, there's beautiful Angela. I'm going to look to see where I can find that at. But just like cast photos. Because I want y'all to look at the ladies when I'm talking about them. But I haven't found anything like that yet. I don't know where she's from. So everyone, that was the review. I'm going to go back and read comments. And then we'll see if there's anything else about King's Court. I like the show. I give this episode only a 7. Me too, Sharon. Like I said, not a lot happened. Not a lot happened during this episode. So, there's not too much I can do with that. So I'll give it a 7 as well. Even maybe a 6.5. But I still like the show. I like the premise of the show. I like all of the kings, but all of these kings are playing around. Tyson more than the other two. Carlos and this fake nice guy thing. I don't know about Carlos. Titus, I'm seeing something to Titus too. Maybe don't wear that purple fedora, Titus, because he was kind of a trip, and I don't like the way he was talking. Dr. Shawana this episode, like, I don't need Shawana Dr. Shawana being kind of standoffish just because she wasn't all over him and she was hanging back in the cut. She noticed it. She told Carlos, yeah, I backed up a little bit. And then Carlos said, do you want to go on a date with me? So Carlos, you a trip too. Nobody said they have to stick to each other, but It's kind of a trip, y'all, but it's still worth watching. It is a fun show. So we are right at a half hour, everyone. Thank you for joining Sandra Peete Gen Extra. And if you are already subscribed, thank you so much for being a subscriber. If you are visiting and you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. And everyone, if you are here, like the video, and I will see you in these YouTube streets, everyone. Have a great day. Have a great week. Thank you so much. CC, hello. Thank you so much, CC's Team Replay. She's one of the moderators. Thank you so much for coming in, CC. I appreciate it. See everyone in the YouTube streets. Bye, everybody.